Why couldn't anyone string Odysseus' bow? The Odyssey explained. Warning: this video contains spoilers for Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey and Homer's epic poem. One of the most unforgettable scenes in Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey doesn't involve a monster, a sea battle, or even one of the gods. Instead, it centers around a single bow. As more than 100 powerful suitors gather inside Odysseus' palace, each one believes he's strong enough to claim the throne of Ithaca and marry Queen Penelope. The challenge seems simple. String Odysseus' legendary bow and shoot an arrow through 12 axe heads. One after another, the suitors step forward. Some strain with all their strength. Others try warming the bow over the fire or rubbing it with oil to make it more flexible. But despite all their efforts, not a single man can even string the bow. So why was Odysseus' bow impossible for everyone else to use? Was it magical? Was it simply too heavy? Or was there something much deeper behind this famous challenge? Let's explain. To understand the mystery of the bow, we first have to understand what it represented. This wasn't just another weapon hanging on the palace wall. It was Odysseus' personal bow, a gift he had received many years earlier from his close friend Ithaca, the son of the legendary archer Eurytus. In Greek mythology, Eurytus was considered one of the greatest archers who ever lived, and his bow became a symbol of extraordinary skill and strength. When Ithaca gave the bow to Odysseus, it wasn't simply a present, it was a mark of trust between two noble warriors. Unlike the swords and spears commonly used in battle, this bow was rarely taken to war. Odysseus treasured it and kept it safely in Ithaca, preserving it as one of his most prized possessions. Over the years, stories about the bow spread throughout Greece. People believed it required exceptional strength just to bend it and attach the string. But strength alone wasn't enough. The bow demanded experience, patience, and perfect technique. Only someone who truly understood the weapon could master it. That brings us to Penelope's famous contest. After waiting nearly 20 years for Odysseus to return from the Trojan War, the palace had become overrun by arrogant suitors. More than 100 noblemen from nearby kingdoms had moved into the palace. They feasted every day using Odysseus' wealth. They insulted his servants. They bullied his son, Telemachus. And each of them wanted to force Penelope into marriage so they could seize the throne of Ithaca. But Penelope wasn't ready to give up hope. Deep in her heart, she still believed her husband might return. So she announced a challenge that seemed fair on the surface, but secretly favored only one man. Whoever could string Odysseus' bow and shoot an arrow cleanly through the holes of 12 axe heads would become her new husband. To the suitors, it looked like a contest of strength. To Penelope, it was something else entirely. It was a final test of legitimacy, because if anyone in Greece could truly master that bow, it would be Odysseus himself. One by one, the suitors tried. The strongest warriors in Ithaca couldn't even bend the bow enough to attach the string. Some grunted with effort until their hands bled. Others gave up in frustration before even getting close. Their failure wasn't simply physical. It revealed something about their character. These men believed that power alone entitled them to the throne. But they lacked the patience, discipline, and wisdom that defined Odysseus throughout his life. Christopher Nolan highlights this contrast beautifully. Throughout the Odyssey, monsters are defeated not by brute force but by intelligence. Odysseus escapes the Cyclops through strategy. He survives the Sirens through preparation. He outwits Circe through caution and divine guidance. Again and again, wisdom triumphs over raw strength. The bow continues that same theme. It's not merely a weapon. It's a symbol of the kind of king Odysseus is. Eventually, an old beggar watching from the corner quietly asks for a chance to try. The palace erupts in laughter. The beggar's clothes are torn. His face is weathered from years at sea. He appears weak and exhausted. Unknown to everyone except Telemachus and a few loyal servants. The beggar is actually Odysseus in disguise, hidden by Athena. The suitors mock him. They can't imagine that this frail old traveler could succeed where the greatest warriors of Greece had failed. Penelope allows him to try. The disguised king calmly picks up the bow. Instead of struggling, he examines it with quiet familiarity. He turns it in his hands, checks the string dot, and then, with effortless precision, he bends the bow. In one smooth motion, he strings it as easily as a musician tuning an instrument. The entire hall falls silent. Moments earlier, more than 100 men couldn't even bend the weapon. Now the old beggar has done it without hesitation. Then comes the second part of the challenge. Odysseus places an arrow on the string. He aims through the aligned rings of 12 axe heads, releases. The arrow flies perfectly through every opening without touching a single one. In that instant, the disguise no longer matters. Everyone realizes something impossible has just happened. Only one man alive could perform that shot. The true king of Ithaca has returned. The bow becomes more than a weapon. It becomes proof of identity. Unlike a crown or royal robes, it cannot be stolen or imitated. Only its rightful owner can truly master it. This is why Penelope chose the contest so carefully. Whether she consciously suspected the beggar's identity or simply trusted fate, the challenge guaranteed that only the real Odysseus could win. Immediately after the successful shot, the atmosphere changes completely. The celebration ends. The doors are locked. Odysseus throws off his disguise. Standing beside Telemachus, he reveals himself before the stunned suitors. The very bow they failed to string becomes the weapon that delivers justice. One arrow after another finds its mark as Odysseus reclaims his palace, protects his family, and restores order to Ithaca. It's one of the most satisfying moments in Greek mythology because the victory isn't based on luck or magic. It's the reward for years of endurance, wisdom, and perseverance. The bow also carries a deeper symbolic meaning. Throughout the story, many people try to take Odysseus' place. They wear fine clothes, they sit in his palace, they eat his food. They dream of wearing his crown. But none of them can become Odysseus. True leadership isn't inherited through power or stolen through ambition. It's earned through courage, sacrifice, intelligence, and unwavering loyalty to one's family and kingdom. That's exactly what the bow represents. So, why couldn't anyone string Odysseus' bow? Because it wasn't simply about physical strength. The bow belonged to a legendary warrior who possessed unmatched skill, discipline, patience, and experience. The suitors had muscles. Odysseus had mastery. And in the end, mastery defeated arrogance. What do you think? Do you believe Penelope secretly knew the old beggar was Odysseus? Or was the contest simply her final attempt to delay the suitors while holding on to hope that her husband would return? And here's another question. If you had been one of the suitors and watched an old beggar effortlessly string the legendary bow, would you have realized the truth immediately, or would you have thought it was some kind of miracle? Share your thoughts and theories in the comments below. I always enjoy reading your perspectives and discussing these legendary moments with fellow mythology fans. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more of the Odyssey Explained videos, Greek mythology stories, hidden details, character breakdowns, and Christopher Nolan analysis. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.